If you ever meet someone who's like, I don't listen to the lyrics, they're probably a fucking serial killer. Like, like I don't know.
I'm like such a lyric guy. Like I need lyrics. That's what got me through everything in my life.
Like I'm not big on the lyrics. I'm like, what are you big on?
Who could catch their breath at a crime scene? Born and raised to keep dark findings in my mind. Well, numbers blurring and streets are feeling different. I'm losing track of all of God's indifference. Who gets by? Well, walking with a ghost, that shit was tearing me to shreds. I had never known my name until you spoke it from your chest. And the heavens opened up and pulled me in. I stared and said, oh yeah, that's forever. Darling, just you and forever. Well, now it's just you and they built a few more gates up. The lights get low, the path has become dangerous. Who gets through? So damn the bastards, cull it out. Everyone they stop from doing just an inch of good. They hate themselves, forever war. It paves their hell, fuck everything that I've been told. Cause I just saw the heavens open up. And forever. Well, darling, just you and forever. Well, now it's just you and forever now. Forever now. Forever now. Well, forever now. For a savior, no Jesus Christ, no Roman gods will cower at you. Let me in. So damn the bastards, call them out. Everyone they stop from doing just an inch of good. They hate themselves, forever war. It paves the hell, fuck everything that I've been told. Cause I just saw the heavens open up and forever. Well, darling, just you and forever. Now it's just you and forever.
Hey, it's Matt Pinfield. I'm here at the SoCal Sound session, and I'm here with Jack Antonoff of Bleachers, and so happy to have Jack here. Jack and I have known each other for a long time, which is just so great. We're both from Jersey, you know, which I'm very proud of that, so I talk about it on the air quite a bit, you know what I mean?
I talk about it quite a bit.
Yeah, and because I have a lot of pride in it, just because there's so much, you know, we always talked about, when I was a kid growing up younger, everything was always focused on New York primarily. But there was so much art and creativity and incredible music that came out of Jersey, too.
I think a lot of the things that New York is famous for gets created by the people right outside New York who come in and feel like a magic about the city.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it's been like that. I mean, I think that as you go through, like, from the old days on with Sinatra through, you know, I mean, obviously all the great artists from the 60s and,
Yeah.
you know, and onward. But so talk to me about this new album, Jack. It's great. So this is, as we go into the fifth Bleachers album, tell me about making this record, because we're excited to have you back with a new album. And can you tell me about when you decided it was time to make another record? Because I know you've been so busy with a lot of production and, you know, doing a lot of different things, and life in general, right?
Well, I'm always chipping it away, but there's a moment when you go from I'm fucking around to I'm making an album, and it's a bit like out of your control.
Yeah.
So I work a lot. I'm just in the studio a lot. I like being in the studio and I like writing, but there's it's almost like admitting to yourself that you're making an album is so big that you just have to let it happen, and then you can admit it once you hear cornerstones of it.
Yeah. And that was the thing. What was it? Was there something in the songs on the new record of those 11 that was there one in particular that was the thing that kicked things off, that you knew you were going to be in a new cycle of writing songs for yourself as the band to perform?
There's a song, the first song was called Sideways.
Yeah, the opening track of the album.
It chronicles, it's about touring. It sounds like it's about like a relationship or an old lover or something. It's about my relationship to touring. I don't know why I wrote it, but I did. I think sometimes you do things subconsciously and then you answer for them later, and now I'm in that phase of thinking about the album. And I think that as you grow and change, your origin story gets rewritten.
Yeah.
Either like, not just like publicly, but just like even by yourself, like you kind of forget what was myth and what was reality. And I made this decision when I was 15 to leave home, which at the time was just exciting and interesting. And Jesus, what a road that led me on. Wouldn't have changed anything, but bizarre path that has been my life since then. And so I felt compelled to write the song. And the lyric that started out was, shouted "Hello Bastards" as we left our ancestors. Hello Bastards, a Jersey Lifetime reference, but as we left our ancestors, my whole ancestry and all the guys I grew up playing music with, there was this kind of ancestral past of like doing, immigrants, doing anything to just either survive where they were coming from, coming to America, and then just survive to have a family. And I was the first generation who kind of blew the whole thing up and lived my passion. And there was this feeling when I first started going on the road, me and my band, like we were like leaving some ancestral pact.
Yes.
To be safe.
Yeah.
And I wrote that song, and it really touched me. And I don't know why. And then it's not like I wrote the whole album about that, but it was the catalyst to write more music.
To get things started. And I love that you have that reference in there to the band Lifetime. We Jersey's Best Dancers, and it was like, there's these great records and great artists from around there, and it's always, I like that it comes full circle. It's
always in me. It's always buzzing in me.
Yeah.
It's,
I love
it's
your
where I'm
pride
telegraphing from, like, no matter where I am. I'm in LA right now, but like, if I write something out here, it's like, I imagine myself in New Jersey, in a town similar to the one I grew up in, which now I live back in a town.
In Bergenfield area.
Yeah,
right?
I'm in Monmouth County now.
Yeah.
But like, that's like a lens. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm there. It's just, you grow up somewhere. That's your sensibility. That's your sound. And it changes as you go throughout the world. But what I've noticed is the further I get away, the more I dig back into it.
Here's the story about a kid in his shadow. He just didn't want to be lonely. He started to fly and She got sick, pulled up and down and spun out real quick. He just didn't wanna be lonely. Pulled into a Wawa in Philly in 2000. Blue Magic coming out the speaker at the gas pump. All Jersey kids, we never learned to pump gas. So we sat there with the soundtrack. Met them all in the Wayne Firehouse glory days. Packed the van and spun through being cool. Man, those drive-through years really went slow. Wawa lights in the rear view was making it. We packed the van, a time was then. That's the story about kids and their shadows. We just didn't want to be lonely. That's why I still sing glory to the ones who know the way. I still say glory to the ones on the edge. I think some of us need to chip away what we don't understand. Slowly combing over it, slowly getting under it, 'cause there's no getting over it. So we drove back from the west with our new religion then. One-way tickets and heart and in hand. Said fuck anything in my way, this is forever now. And just like that everything changed. Well, that's the thing about loving your shadow. Well, years from there, I left my house and saw her standing on a rooftop. She said, I just don't wanna be lonely. I said, I just don't wanna be lonely. She said, I just don't wanna be lonely. I said, I just don't wanna be lonely.
You know, I've been around music for a long time. I've seen scenes rise and I've seen them disappear. And the difference is always the same, whether people show up and support what they believe in. What you're watching right now, real artists, real performances, that only happens because listeners like you stand behind it. Community Amplified means music lovers supporting musicians directly. It means having deep conversations and hearing stories from your favorite artists. It means keeping independent voices strong. If you believe music should still have places like this, where it's respected, where it's curated with intention and passion, become a member of the SoCal Sound right now. Because when you support this radio station, you're supporting the future of music itself. Please find the link in the description to make a donation today. The second song, I love this song called The Van, you know? And God, as soon as I heard it, there were just all these things. And I zeroed in on the lyrics. I love lyrics because I just love, the way, not only music, but
be terrified of the people who don't listen to lyrics. If you ever meet someone who's like, I don't listen to lyrics, they're probably a fucking serial killer. Like, like I don't know.
I'm like such a lyric guy. Like I need lyrics. That's what got me
people
through
who are like,
everything in my life.
I'm not big on the lyrics. I'm like, what are you big on? Like that's, it's just, public service announcement. If you have a friend who doesn't listen to lyrics, lock your doors.
And in this song, it's great because you're talking about, driving, there's a visual, there's so many visual aspects in your songs, which I love. But you're talking about going to Philly, and there's a reference to Blue Magic, which blew me away because, I've always loved 70s soul music, 60s soul music. I mean, just some great soul music in general.
Yeah.
And so, I had this 45 when I was a kid of Blue Magic. Later got the album, but it had, A-side was Sideshow and had Just Don't Want to Be Lonely on the B-side, which was also a hit for the Main Ingredient in the 1970s. And I loved both versions.
The album, so Sideways is the first song, which is a bit more the emotional, esoteric leaving.
Yeah.
The Van is a literal story. And then We Should Talk, which is the next song, jumps to the present, and it's all the people I've lost touch with. But The Van is super literal. I sampled Just Don't Want to Be Lonely because pulled into a Wawa in Philly in 2000, Blue Magic coming out the speaker at the gas pump. All Jersey kids, we never learned to pump gas, so we sat there with the soundtrack. It's literal. I was, a kid, we were in Philly. This song, which is an old Philly soul song, was coming out, and the lyric, I just don't want to be lonely. I remember this feeling of like, that's what we're all doing here. Like, that's what it means to be in a band. Like, people who are so terrified of loneliness that they dedicate their life to almost never having a moment alone. So the sample is super literal. I'm kind of writing the story and imagining sitting there hearing that song. It's what you'd call meta if the word meta wasn't bastardized to hell and back.
Yeah.
But I'm telling the story about an experience where that sample was playing, and I'm telling it now, and it's kind of a first two songs clearing the air, like this is how I got here.
Yeah, and
jumping all the way to
we should
people
talk.
I don't speak to, which is a big story of being a songwriter and being on the road. You are really watering this garden, and it's really rich, and everyone can see it. And there's the conversation with the audience and the music, but you lose a lot of stuff that is some of the beautiful normalcy in life. And I just want to write about these people I've lost touch with as a metaphor for things I've lost touch with.
Yeah. And as you were writing that song, were certain people in particularly coming in and out of your
There's
mind?
three people in particular, but when I get literal, I always wonder why I'm getting so literal, and then realize that if I'm talking about someone specifically, it's because they're representative of something.
Yes.
An actual experience with someone is only so interesting, but when it boils down to like a bigger fact that about you or the world or something, that's when I start writing.
Yeah.
Same thing with touring. It's like, I'm not going to write a song that's like, man, I love touring. I love playing to my audience. This is so great. I love our relationship. It's like you look at something and you're looking at the part beneath it, right?
Yeah.
So like, what is this complication? What is this need to share so much with people who I don't know intimately but feel like I know intimately? What is this line between sharing so much with an audience and then removing myself from sort of smaller personal relationships?
Yes.
What does that say about my interaction with the world and myself? So that's where I wrote from.
Yeah.
I always say if you know something, it's boring to write about. You write about the things that you don't know.
Yeah. Because it stimulates you to.
Yeah, well, A, they're worth writing about. B, they're all questions.
Yeah.
Even like the greatest love songs, it's like, even if the concept is I know I love you, then to me the song is, what if I lose you?
Yeah.
It's something that sureness is a very unappealing quality in songwriting.
Yeah. It isn't. Yeah, because because we're all searching for something, and I think. And
Also, if the writer knows it, then it's sort of like, the only reaction I can muster up is sort of like, congratulations.
Yeah. Because we're constantly on that learning curve and path in life, right? I feel. And that's
and so I don't even, all the writers I know, it's like I don't even put the pen down to paper or computer is really how I write a lot. I don't like my phone or paper. I like the computer.
Yeah.
It's really like I write fast, but like I don't even write it if I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
It's so remarkably uninteresting. It's probably why there's no good songs about like, what would be a fun lunch order.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. That's amazing. So, and let's talk about You and Forever, and and talk about the single, the most, and just this, and because there's amazing lyrics in this song. We're talking. I get the feeling as I was listening to it, where I think a lot of people feel like they've been fed a lot of information for a certain amount of time in their life, and they found it out not to be absolutely true, and they sold a idea.
Mythology.
Yes.
Personal and public. Breaking mythology.
Yes.
You see it in people's obsession, even the way the world works, and conversations about conspiracy and Illuminati. It's like people are desperate to break the mythology and have the truth. I so understand that, and I think you have to do that with the world around you, but you also do that with yourself. Like, what are the stories I've told myself of who I am? Can I break that in half and still fucking survive?
Yeah.
Am I propped up by my own mythology, or am I actually a human being moving through things? And I think a lot of people feel the weight of their own mythology, the story that they've decided is who they are.
Yeah.
And that's very anti-growth, and that's something I'm spend all my time just kind of trying to whack at.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're talking about You and Forever, though.
No, yeah. So tell me, but that was the idea with some of the lyrics in it.
Yeah, I just, once again, to this idea of what is compelling to write about. Falling in love is not compelling to write about. what it reveals is compelling to write about.
Yeah, the things that, and especially those feelings.
Yeah.
You learn about yourself and someone else, and
Yeah, and you also learn, a lot of us are defined by our armor. Like there's your soul, and then there's what you put up.
yeah,
This is what I don't take.
yeah,
This is who I don't take shit from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what I don't like. This is what pisses me off. This is how I do things. And this is how they do things, but this is how I do things. These are all armor.
Yeah.
These are all points of, defining yourself by your boundaries, right?
Yeah.
That's a bit reductive. It's a bit boring, It's like, okay. It's
Yeah.
a little bit like yelling in a mirror. When you fall in love and those boundaries drift away,
yes,
you're left with a lot of very uncomfortable truths about yourself. Not the person. When you fall in love, it's the greatest thing in the world. You feel like you won the lottery.
yeah,
But, oh no, I have no reason to be angry anymore.
yeah,
There's a song on the end of the album called "I'm Not Joking," which is
yeah. It's right before the last song.
yeah, it's really the end of the album. The last song is a bit just
Upstairs,
some
else,
fun.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the "I'm Not Joking" is a response to "You and Forever," and the line is when you get what you want, when you get what you want, when you want what you get, it's the heaviest, because you can't just. So that's what "You and Forever" in that song is about: is falling in love, and then if you get something that you've worked hard to get, and you kind of get struck by lightning like you've always dreamed of, and you can't just define yourself by what you complain about anymore. Whoa, that's a crazy feeling. And so that's what I'm shouting about in "You and Forever" is like, fuck everything that I've been told. I just saw the heavens open up. It's just, damn the bastards, all that. It's just this, love is so the opposite of this thing that is in all of us, and maybe worse than ever, probably because of the horrors of the internet, but this thing of just everything is a gripe.
Yeah.
Everything is a complaint. Everything is a bitch about something.
Yeah.
And it's a bit, there's no room for that when you're in an intimate situation with someone.
Yeah.
There's room for that when you have an audience, like you're in
Yeah.
school and you're like, I'm in class with everyone and I'm like, fuck this, that's the internet. But when you're just with someone you love, you can't, it's not all bits.
Yeah.
So you have to at some point zone out into a place of like, can I exist not fucking making the joke about everything or taking the piss at everything? And it's harder than ever because of what we've let happen.
Yeah, and because people are just in survival mode sometimes, and just
They are, and they're so fucking angry, as they should be.
Yeah.
The story of our time is, are you angry? Boy, you fucking should be.
Yeah.
Are you angry at the right person? I doubt it.
Yeah.
You might be angry at your dad.
Yeah.
You might be angry at the government.
Yeah.
You might be angry at the lies you're told. That's fair. Are you taking it out on your friend?
Yeah.
You're taking it out on some random person on the internet? You probably are. It's like road rage.
Yeah.
We live in a culture of cultural road rage where it's like, it's so unfocused, the anger.
Yeah.
And what it really is just pain. I'm in pain, you're in pain, everyone's in pain because, not because the world isn't what we thought it was, just because the headline right now is that gross part.
Yeah.
I remain hopeful because my work and yours too is about doing everything to reveal,
Yeah.
not to cover up, but to reveal more music, more sounds, more cultures, more feelings, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, people are in a lot of pain, and they're really being pretty tough on each other, and I think people feel a lot of shame about that. I know I do when I get really hot.
Yeah. And but that's the.
But I wrote about it a lot.
Yeah, which is a great way to work through it.
It's the only way I can.
Yeah, and I love that because that's to me is. I feel all the magic and all the medicine is in a song. I think it's just
Totally.
it's for me that's been my
It's
whole life.
everything. I know.
It does. It's
Me
like
too.
everything I care
And
about.
The proof is in the pudding. It's like, God, the most racist moments for people cannot help but love. The
Yeah.
people who claim to who fancy themselves complete racists just love black music or music from a race that they think they don't understand. When people decide they hate immigrants, they're just loving their music. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you cannot. Music, comedy, and food. That's like the big three to me, where it's like
Yeah.
the reaction's involuntary.
Yeah.
If I read a book, I have so much time to decide if I want to say I like it or all these takes. If I watch
Yeah.
a movie, I'm forming, like, if you fucking hear a joke,
Yeah.
you laugh or you don't.
Yeah.
And if I make you laugh by telling a joke that's a bit over the line, you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
If I make you cry to a song from someone who you don't think deserves that entry to your soul, you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
If you like this food from a culture that you don't feel close to, but you love it, and all of a sudden you have a closeness, it's involuntary. So I love it so much. It's like people can't be cynical.
Yeah.
They can try, but they just can't. Feel me?
Yeah, 100%, because I feel like that's the thing, and that's the way that it infiltrates people in
Yeah.
a great way, actually, because...
And it's and I mean, look at history. Just like Jesus Christ, like even like looking at like America and their listening habits versus their what they say they want the country to look like. It's like, well, no.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like if you really wanted the country to look like that, then you'd be listening and eating differently.
Yes.
But that's so yeah, we could go 9 hours on this,
Yeah.
but it's a source of hope if you let it be.
Yeah, it definitely is, and music, like I said, is the thing. It's always been the constant in our lives that we love and care about so much. You know,
And that was a balancing out the album because I think the Lizard version of the album is like, fuck this, the way you all talk to each other, and
Yeah.
me too.
yeah,
The Transcendent version, and I play with both, is sort of like, what does it say about myself? Who am I? That's where I got everyone for 10 minutes, is like this interplay of like
Yeah.
me and my people, the everyone-ness.
yeah,
Why is there even a Venn diagram here that I'm living in?
yeah.
And yet there is.
Another year passes of hopes and derailments, blood tests and high chews and loving the careless. We litigate the family, our father's condition, better man speeches, boss caveman traditions. But inches of glory and the leaps of true faith, no, they don't come easy, but they honor the ways that another day over, a moment or a year, bring me right back to the start with the same damn words I fear. So you retrace the steps and you dust the past for prints. There's a wasteland in you, is there something you missed? These grand self-obsessions are a way of hitting snooze when the truth is too dark and there is too much to lose. But inches of glory and the leaps of true faith, no, they don't come easy, but they honor the ways that another day over, a moment or a year, bring me right back to the start with the same damn words I fear. I can't believe you're gone. There's the car that we drove when you were still around, some clothing and wallpaper, a Burger King crown, sand bottles and essays, outlive you, how wrong. This room is a nightmare, this room is my God. It's where I'll finish the wire, where my face hits the floor, where I chose to leave, where the God met the whore. Some days a giant, and others a kid, and some days I'm too scared to even fucking begin, 'cause I can't believe you're gone. Well, maybe we should all move back in as a family, torture each other during TV hours, and talk about money and our father's condition, and be real about that one true thing we're all missing. And you know it's a leap, but sometimes you want to say that tonight's the night and we're gonna be okay. These hope-filled lies, these unearned traditions, if you repeat them enough, you can live with somebody who's missing. Thank you, guys.
Tell me, let's talk about some other songs too. Like Dancing is the song I really love on the record. And
It's probably the best song in the album from a composition point of view.
tell me about that, because before we were on camera, because you and I always talked about music. You mentioned me because I told you I love the song. That you wrote that song when you were overseas, like in Europe, and it definitely geographically affects the way that you write sometimes. And would you say that's like in a clean slate way, or is it
Kind
just
of. I mean, to be somewhere where there's no, like, you have memories attached to things. If you think about the walls in your room, it's like those walls, trinkets, things, experienced all these things, and they carry the weight. You think about it, you go back to New Jersey, it's like you're probably flooded with emotion.
always?
Yeah. If you went to Budapest, you'd probably be like, cool.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly,
and there's a freedom to that. I wrote Dancing abroad. I wrote I Want to Get Better abroad. I wrote We're Gonna Go Forever. Some of my deepest songs I write when I'm elsewhere.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the obvious of sort of like I'm not flooded with my life, so I can fly free. But there's something I love about Europe's relationship to Americanness. It's very clear. When you're in America and you make American music, I think my music is so American. Specifically New Jersey, but so New Jersey to me is such a beacon of America in so many ways. It's just so, I mean, it's like one town to the next.
It's amazing, and how different it is, and how many different
crazy,
cultures.
yeah. I mean, Google the different landscapes in New Jersey. It's like all of America, I feel like.
Yeah, it is, because
right
there's
there.
so much.
There's so much.
I have no idea how vastly
they have
different
no idea. They know like Newark and like the part near Philly. Or it's like parts of it look like Game of Thrones, fucking rolling hills, waterfalls, the beach, the wood. It's I can go on forever, but my music is so American, and there's so much intensity of what that means and what the subversion is versus just the heart and soul. You get overseas, anywhere else, and you kind of just see it clear.
Yeah.
I just feel like when I'm around people in other countries, they're like, oh yeah, that part about America sucks. That part's awesome.
Yeah.
Love the music. And so I find myself making like more distinctly American music. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I Want to Get Better. You wrote that overseas?
Yeah, I wrote that in Malaysia, actually.
Yeah. And was that on a fun tour, or was it
the reason why that song came out that way is because when I was in that band, I've been in bands my whole life. And then that was the first band that I wasn't, speaking of lyrics.
Yeah.
And so I was in this existential crisis because I was sort of like, and then as that band getting big also was driving me crazy because I was like, all my dreams are coming true, sort of.
Yeah.
But I'm not on this planet to play arenas.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's fun as fuck. I'm on this planet to tell my story. And so I got really
So your personal story.
jittery, and that's why I ended up writing this. I Want to Get Better is basically a cliff notes of my life to that point. And once you do that, it's kind of nice. You're kind of like, oh, that's done now. I can sort of focus on individual feelings and songs. But I always think if you hear that song and you don't relate to me, you should never listen to me again.
Yeah.
That's a big front door.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that song was a guide for them and helped them get through tough times, and just
Yeah, me too.
It's literal, but it's great.
Yeah, when people tell me that stuff, it's not oh thanks. It's like me too.
Yeah,
because it did the same thing for me.
and you talk about being on tour when you were a kid, leaving home at like 15. So tell me about the Steel Train years when you got signed to Drive Through, and I love there's a Drive Through reference, of course, also in the van. Tell me about that era, because that's when I met you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
I mean, it was magic. It was a great time for music.
Yeah.
Because it was pre-internet.
Yeah.
So when you were gone, you were gone. If I was a kid now, God knows what I'd be into, so I don't judge anyone. But at that time, there was no choice. So we had the joy and the freedom of just being gone.
Yeah.
We couldn't call home after 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Or could only call home after 7 p.m. nights and weekends.
Yeah.
But it was just magic. You learn, the years of playing, 250 shows a year when probably not much more than 250 people saw those shows. That's fucking irreplaceable, man. I learned how to be in a band.
Yeah.
I learned what being a band is. I learned what playing live is in a way that I don't know if anyone would sign up for. It was just what it was then.
Yeah, I mean, and you must have those amazing memories, like just certain records and things you were listening to
Yeah.
on the road, and you sometimes associate those.
And you know what I
memories
like
and
about that
stuff.
time too is we'd be in the van and we'd put on something and we'd listen together, and then we'd argue about it.
Yeah.
You know, so it'd be there were things we agreed on. You know, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot was big at that time, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Or we'd listen to old Tom Waits records, and everyone would love it. But then, whoever was driving would play their music. So Matt, the guitar player, is really into like Stone Roses and Catherine Wheel and that
Yeah.
kind of British stuff.
Yeah.
And Evan, the bass player, was way folkier and playing like David Grisman and Felice Brothers and things like that, or whatever. And the
It's a great
drummer,
cross-section.
Yeah, would play like jazz. And then when I was driving, for me at that time, it was a lot of like obsessive Tom Waits listening.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have these big arguments about what mattered and what didn't matter, and my song sucked and my song didn't suck, and people would take these sort of like edgelord positions. But it was fun because we were friends.
And did you find that there were things that you, even if it was more a preference of one of the other guys in the band, you ended up really starting to love that song or like
Yeah,
that
but
artist?
that time period is a huge reminder that music is also like identity. There are things that maybe I would have loved, but someone liked, and I didn't like why they liked it. So I define myself outside of it. No, I don't fuck with that. And now I look back, I'm like, wow, I love that. I just didn't want to hear about it from that fucking guy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like my wife recently. We're in the middle. We're in the middle of Sopranos. She had never seen it.
Yeah.
But it was tough to get. I was like, "This is the greatest show of all time." And she's like, "I know, but there's just been too many fucking men in my life who are like shout at me that I have to watch The Sopranos." It's a perfect example of like you have to enter things
In a different way.
in your own way. You know, really. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be that.
Yeah.
I just really want. And now it's like her favorite show ever. But that's the same thing with music. Anything. It's like I have to get there. How I get there.
Yeah.
I can't just have someone scream at me that this is an album I have to hear.
Yeah. You want it has to be more organic.
Yeah, but the van, man, that was a whole, anyone who's ever been in the van, and that's what that song is about.
Did it make you feel like appreciate things like Catherine Wheel and the Roses and stuff like that?
Yeah, but like there's so much music I know and love.
Yeah.
But at the time I would be like, this is what I don't like about it. It's where you're at in your life, and it's your own insecurities fuel it. So at that time I was sonically unsure of myself.
Yeah.
Lyrically very sure of myself. So I had a negative reaction with my friends to things that were sort of just like more sonically, Jesus and Mary Jane, Catherine Wheel, like these sort of sonic masterpieces, My Bloody Valentine. But then I would listen to like some kind of folk song and really connect to it because I felt like that's what I could do. And when you're moving through life, you are often confronted with your shadow. So a lot of times it's not that's why no artist should ever be a critic in any way.
Yeah.
We are the least objective people. Yeah. Everything is in relation to my own shadow, as it should be. That's how I create. But when I find out that like, some songwriter or something is also like, critiquing stuff for a website, I'm like, that's like, there's a reason why surgeons can't work on their loved ones. Like,
it's like, it's true.
Not okay.
Yeah, it's amazing, I mean, that's
zero objectivity.
Yeah.
All hypocrite.
When it comes to writing with and writing and producing other people, do you approach that when you bring with you, Jack? I mean, because you've worked with a lot of different people that have done and some really interesting things creatively. And do you go in with the idea of like trying to bring out the best in what they do? And I mean, how does that work? Are they because
I just kind of go in the idea of just bring out the best.
Yeah, period, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious when you hear it.
Yeah.
When I'm producing stuff, it's like, there's nothing to convince it. Like, it just is.
Yeah.
You hear something great, everyone knows it's great.
Yes,
And if people disagree on that, they should not be working together. You know what I mean? It's like, there's no conversation about it. So the process is incredibly complicated and hard and strenuous and blah, 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 but the part of it that matters is the easiest thing in the world. You hear it.
Yeah.
It's clear as day. The journey of finding it's the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like what goes into that.
Yeah, but my gut, I've never had questioning in my gut when it comes to what I think is great and what matters.
Yeah.
And that's all I can offer.
Which is a really, it's a great thing. I mean, I think it's
It's
really
just
cool.
how I've always been. I just never, I was a kid and,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I listen to my dad or mom play music and think like, wow, that's fucking, holy shit, Happiness is a Warm Gun is the best song I've ever heard. Holy shit, Long and Winding Road is the worst song I've ever heard. Like, I
Yeah.
just had these gut feelings.
Yeah. You like
I
there's
stand
part-
by.
Yeah, there's like a Beatles song you love and then the other one, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
and I
you
know
feel-
what now I have all the language. So I'm like, oh, I don't like the way the strings are recorded on Long and Winding Road. They're too elevator. They're too this. It's too, Ringo or whoever played drums is being too tasteful. Oh, I know why I love Happiness to Warm Gun. The panning is crazy. The guitar is fucked up. He's doing his own backup. Like now I can mine it for parts.
Yeah.
But at the time, you just have your fucking gut feeling, and then that either gets beaten out of you or it doesn't. And I will have never let that shit get beaten out of me.
Is it? I think that's probably one of the things that's magical for you. So you hold on to that.
Oh, yeah. No, I know what I feel. I know what I like. But it's also, I get that luxury because me and Bleachers, like, we've never been, like, we're nobody's darling. There's no scene that was like, this is our shit. This represents our scene. It's always been on the outside. And that is such a fucking gift because I don't have to answer to anyone but myself and my people. And that relationship has been about growth. So not saying I would have shit the bed if I was propped up by some tide, but I do feel stressed for those people who do, where it's like you're part of a thing that's bigger than yourself. I never want to feel like that.
I love that you do as an artist and as a band stand individually for, and when I think it's given also that license to create and go in different directions with the songs and what, on each album, right?
Totally.
I think in a big way.
Well, but yeah, all you have with your audience is that long conversation of honesty. Where it goes is where it goes, but, all you can give them, which is everything you can give them, is where you're at.
Yeah.
No one, how gross to try to please them.
Yeah.
That's sort of assuming they're not smart. I would never.
Yeah.
If the only goal is to do something that is like really powerful to me, and then that's worthy of them.
Yeah. And it's a challenge, but in a good way.
Totally. I mean, it's a fucking mountain. It's easy to talk about now.
Yeah.
This is the fun part. I'm done with the album now. I just get to talk about it. When you're in it, it's like you can barely talk about it. You're just like. That's why I watch a lot of war movies.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. Where it's like I relate to people.
Speaking of which, are there certain movies that are like your favorites, things of all time that have just like, what are some of your favorites that you loved?
Waiting for Guffman.
Yeah.
And Apocalypse Now is the spectrum.
Yeah.
I like Christopher Guest movies and Vietnam movies. For some reason, I live in those two zones.
Yeah.
Over and over, repetitive. I watch these. I watch movies over and over. I could watch The Departed once a week.
You know what's funny? I watched The Departed on a plane like a week ago, and I'm like, I've watched this movie like 25 times, and I still watch it.
I totally.
I love it. I'm on a plane. It's got The Departed. I'll watch that.
Same. The Departed, Apocalypse Now, Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, Full Metal Jacket.
I was going to say is just one of the,
Yeah, for some reason, I could watch.
Kubrick too. You like?
Yeah, I could, less, but I could watch Eyes Wide Shut a lot.
Yeah.
I can watch. There's a movie called Molly's Game.
Yeah.
Which is like a fine movie. For some reason, I can watch it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But I can also watch the Deer Hunter over and over again.
Yeah.
Until they start torturing them, I start to.
Yeah.
I watched Deer Hunter up until they're in the water.
Yeah.
In Vietnam. But yeah, I got a Vietnam thing I love. Oliver Stone stuff.
So you'll go like, will you check out even things that you've seen movies like Off Limits and some of the stuff that came out in the '80s that was Vietnam movies?
No, I don't know Off Limits.
I'll send you a couple.
You send me them. I know, I like the Hearts and Minds documentary.
Yeah.
I like Ken Burns. I like doing a long, I've done, the Civil War. And
I love the Ken Burns stuff.
Brilliant.
Ken
Burns Vietnam is, that might be my favorite piece of visual work ever.
Yeah. It's amazing. I'm such a Ken Burns fan. I used to get everything on DVD.
Ken Burns and Errol Morris are my two.
Yeah.
Those two, anything they make, I'll watch.
That's amazing. I also wanted to ask you, is there anybody that you haven't collaborated with yet that you would really like to? I mean, I loved, obviously, it was
Not
a big
fucking joking, Ken Burns.
Yeah, because I want to say that it was honestly, because how excited I was when you and Bruce did the track together, when you did Chinatown. I was so pumped. It was this major thing for me that I It was a lot of pride. It was it
Tell me
hit
about
me in
it.
the heart
Imagine being
to
me.
see you guys. And I was just like, this is a moment that, so it meant the world to see it.
Yeah. Well, I
So
mean,
I
it was
love him, and you
all-
know.
a song was about going back to Jersey, as a metaphor for going back to yourself, because, you feel seen by
Yeah.
someone. I'm literally talking about going over the bridge. Right as I go over the bridge, his voice comes in. I mean, it was the metaphors are so rich if you know me.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I love.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, Ken Burns, you'd like to collaborate some stuff with if you could figure it out, and even like his stuff on jazz and this, like everything, the country music,
Ken Burns is the only
everything.
person on earth. Ken Burns and Bruce would follow off a cliff.
Yeah.
If they had any ideas, those are the people I would follow off a cliff.
Did you ever watch Rick Burns' New York documentary too,
No.
which is his brother's thing? That's pretty amazing
Really?
too, about New York City. That's
I'll look it
great.
up.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, Bruce is,
best, yeah.
we love him. He's
The best.
one of the greatest people and
All of it.
songwriters. Everything,
Proof that
Oh,
you don't have to be a complicated mess to make that kind of work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. And so I just want to say, is there any other tracks on the album for you that just really were something that you had to get out?
I mean, all of them in their own way.
Yeah.
There's not much passing. I'm not very casual these days. So maybe one day I will be, but not there right now. So everything is pretty. The last track is lighthearted, but not really. It's just. I feel like the album ends with "I'm not joking," and then upstairs at ELS is just like this little button.
Yeah.
Kind of being somewhere with my people.
Yeah, which is great.
But that's the whole metaphor. My family, my relationship, my collaborators, my audience, like this real insular view of my people, whether that's whatever lens it is. I feel the same way about these different groups. It's just a level of importance to me.
Jack, what are some of a few of those albums that are just like these records that are so important to you? I mean, is there something you can name off the top of your head? Like
Propaganda, Let's Talk More Rock.
Yeah, they come from we were listening to them, I think literally like a couple weeks,
Really?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Refuse, Shape of Punk to Come.
Yeah.
Tom Waits' Heart of Saturday Night. Tom Waits' Foreign Affairs. Tom Waits' Mule Variations. The Decline by NoFX is so perfect. That comes to mind right now.
Yeah.
Through Being Cool by Saves the Day really changed my life.
Yeah. Speaking of Jersey, and there's a Jersey reference, there's Saves the Day reference in this.
Back to Van Spun Through Being Cool.
Yeah, right. It's great.
What are these other? I mean, there's so many. Really, I think Magical Mystery Tour changed me more than anything. Because when I was growing up, my parents never shut up about Sgt. Pepper's, and I was always like more entranced by Magical Mystery Tour.
Yeah.
It's like so much more uncanny or something.
Yeah. So that record was playing a lot as a kid.
Really, a lot of Tom Waits. That was the thing that shaped me the most that time. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds and No More Shall We Part.
Yeah.
Really formative album for me.
Yeah.
Huge dynamic swings between really sad and really huge.
Tell me about your relationship with Nick Cave and then getting to do,
He's just been a great inspiration to me. I ended up working with him for a soundtrack, but only at a distance. We did a cover of Leon Rose.
Yeah.
But we worked remotely, so we just had these conversations on the phone.
Yeah.
And it was, anyone who's pretty brilliant, you start to realize the brilliance is authenticity, and so you get exactly what you get.
Yeah, which is a beautiful thing, right? I remember he came down to HTG on the Jersey Shore and sat with me for an hour on the air.
Really?
And like literally, because he was promoting his book and the Ass Soul the Angel, and we just hung out. He put him on the air with me for an hour. It was a great time.
I've met him, but when we worked remotely, but just spending time with him. And Warren Ellis, who's brilliant and has played on a lot of Bleachers recordings.
Yeah.
They're just, I like being around people that kind of have the direct line.
Yeah, absolutely. And he does. All his work, soundtrack work to everything else.
Beautiful.
I mean,
yeah. And such a great arc in terms of like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds just sort of like become more mythical as time goes on.
I mean, you listen to songs like Mercy Seat and then hearing like Johnny Cash to cover it is just like, what I mean?
There's a song called Love Letter, which is I think on Nocturama.
Yeah.
Or is it on No More Chili Part? It might be on No More Chili Part.
Chili Part.
It is, yeah. I'm thinking of Rocket Gibraltar on Valderrama, but that is a perfect song.
Yeah.
That song destroys me.
Yeah, it's so great. I love him. He's
Brilliant.
just,
Yeah.
you know, there's a reason why he's survived so
We're
much.
just lucky to have
You
him.
know, he played City Gardens. I saw him at City Gardens with a birthday party
Really?
in like
shit.
1981 or 82.
Fucking hell.
Isn't that amazing? It was just like,
I wasn't around yet. I would have loved to have been there.
yeah, it was incredible, you know, and it was, they played in the back bar. I was talking, because in the same week, Bauhaus played in the back bar.
Really?
Yeah. You know, the bar, it was, John
yeah.
Stewart was a bartender, and, you know.
My version of that was I got to be there for the end of Coney Island High, which was
How great was that,
where
by
all
the way?
the legendary things happened when I was coming up. It was
Yep.
the best place. We had Coney Island High, ABC Rio, Brownies,
Yeah.
Continental had a lot of really cool shows sometimes.
It did, yeah.
CB still had cool shows then.
It did.
It hadn't gone full like John Varvatos or whatever he had. It was
Yeah.
it was still kind of a real venue.
It was, and there were like, you know, and you still, for a lot of people, still get a good demo off the, when you play live. The
Yeah.
sound was really good. You get
Totally.
a great recording.
Yeah.
And you could use that for something.
Yeah, it wasn't like at that time like it was obviously like pastiche, but it was
Yeah.
still there were still real shows going through there. And then the best was, remember Tramps?
Oh, I love
I
Tramps.
love Tramps.
I remember, speaking of that Tramps experience, I'm just going to say, like, I remember standing there with Bruce, because Bruce was there to see Soul Asylum do a song with them. This is in like 95, 94, you know,
Wow.
when I left HTG and went to
shit.
MTV full time.
Yeah.
And Bruce and I had a conversation that night, and then he was kind enough, he called the bosses at MTV and said, "You hired this guy, Matt Pinfield, he's not from the corporate world, you guys look out for him, he's a real music guy."
That's awesome.
Which is the most beautiful thing you could do. I waited 7 years to thank him when I
Jeez.
saw him at Columbia Records, when I was working there doing A&R, and I said, "Bruce, I want to thank you for that.
Fucking A.
Call you meet." He goes, "Oh, don't worry about it, it's cool." You know, he was
What a great story.
It was a beautiful thing, you know.
That's very him.
It meant the world, you know, I'll never forget it.
I had the opposite experience at Champs. I went to the Earth Crisis, who was
Oh, so you were totally...
it was like, and I saw some people beat the shit out of a guy for getting drunk because that straight edge scene was so hardcore then. So that's the literal inverse of Bruce Soul Asylum.
Yeah, it is, absolutely, yeah.
Crisis.
Yeah, because it was a straight edge thing. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, unbelievable. But those venues were incredible.
They're incredible. Yeah.
And Coney Island High, Jesse Mallon, everybody was involved. Joey Ramone was
Yeah.
a DJ there. I'd host
Coney Island
sometimes.
was the best, and also it was so magical. I remember you go up the stairs,
Yeah, you would have up the stairs.
which is a funny feeling.
Yeah.
To go up to a venue
Yeah.
because you're kind of like, can it hold this? And it was just, but that was also like, I mean, St. Mark's was such a good time then.
St. Mark's was amazing.
Yeah.
You had Kim's record store. You had Trash and Vaudeville. And they were just like,
There was a guitar shop.
And what was that?
Remember Love Saves the Day, the toy shop?
yeah, that was a great.
It was just right before it all got, and I'm sure the people before me would say like, oh, it was already fried, but like, it was just a
the
good
dojo.
time.
There are places to eat like cheap meals for if you're a musician or like.
Go to St. Mark's, coming from Jersey, and we'd have a whole night there for $10.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah, we'd see like the Get Up Kids at Coney Island High. We'd go to the guitar shop. We'd hang out at Kim's. We'd go eat somewhere. And it was just the whole thing was, you know, and there was like that crust punk scene was still really big then.
Yeah.
Remember LES Stitches, that band?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there was a lot going on, and felt like you were in like a fucking Cro-Mags cartoon.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was a great time, you know. And they did a great job with Coney Island High. I missed it when it closed down. It
You
was
do,
great.
miss it still.
You know, but Jack, I so appreciate that you came in.
You're the best,
and
man.
to play.
Let's just try to do this every month. Just sit down and talk.
I love hanging out with you. Well, we can do that from anywhere. But I want to tell you, I do love talking to you. And it's I'm going to send you a bunch of
Please do.
these lists.
You're the best, Matt.
Yeah, I love you, Jack. You know that.
you.
So good to see you. And
I owe you so much. 120 minutes introduced me to Fugazi, NoFX, fucking everything. You know, it unlocked the whole. That's why I started going out to shows in Jersey, because I was seeing all this stuff, and I was like, "Is this happening here too?" It was.
yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And then I found Lifetime, and
Oh, God, that Jersey's Best Dancers record. You know, like it's so. I love that. It's
perfect.
That era. Too, there were so many great records coming out.
hardcore and pop coming
Yeah.
together in this crazy way that some of the old heads at that time were so offended by, but
Yeah.
it really changed everything.
It did,
Yeah.
and it was a great thing, and you know, I'm grateful for those records and to be there for that.
Yeah.
You know.
You're the best, Matt.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jack
you.
Antonoff. Everybody, I love you, Jack.
Pinfield forever.
Hey, it's Matt Pinfield here. You just watched something pretty special, and trust me, there's a whole lot more of that on this channel. Click into this next session and keep the music going. If you're into discovering great artists and hearing the stories behind the songs, subscribe and hang with us here at the SoCal Sound.